Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Chelsea, and I'm a full-time reseller. I sell on Poshmark, eBay, and mercari. And on this channel, I like to share reselling tips, share some haul videos, all kinds of reselling related content. And today, I have a friend with me. I don't know which way to point, Rebekah over at Rebekah Allison here on YouTube. So Rebekah, I want to take a minute to introduce yourself, tell a little bit about your YouTube channel. Guys, go subscribe. She's so close to 1,000 subscribers.
Yes, Chelsea, thank you so much for having me. I love watching your videos. I just think that you do a great job. So I'm super excited to be with you today, get to know you better. I love that we're becoming friends on YouTube. My name is Rebekah Allison, and I do a lot of thrifting content on my channel as well. I love to go to the bins. I love a good deal. And I'm also a part-time reseller on Poshmark. So yeah, I live here in Maryland. So we're a little bit down the country from each other, but I live here with my husband. I just got recently married, moved across the country from Indiana, and now I'm pretty much a reseller almost full-time, but I also work part-time at a community center too. So yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Yes. Okay. So I just wanted to share that I found Rebekah's channel because her channel was recommended to me. And first of all, her thumbnails are like gold. Like they're all beautiful. They're perfect. Do you use Canva to design your thumbnails?
I do. So yeah, I have a background in graphic design, so I could use Photoshop and Illustrator, but I just feel like it's the easiest to just use Canva. There's so many great templates on there. So yeah.
Yes, I absolutely love Canva. Hey, Blue Consignment, Macy, there's my buddy. Thanks for popping in. So anyway, yes, your thumbnails were totally click-worthy, and that's what like made me click on your channel. So I was, really drawn to your channel, and then your videos definitely didn't disappoint because I feel like we have really similar content. You definitely, okay, so you even did a closet clean out video I watched recently. I'm like, oh my gosh, I did this like exact same video. And then all the Goodwill outlet hauls and everything. I was like, man, we have so much similar content. I have got to introduce my followers to Rebekah. So anyway, y'all, you're going to love Rebekah's channel, and she is like 80 subscribers away from getting monetized. Like, it's ridiculous.
I'm so close.
Everyone who watches this video, if you are not already subscribed, which you probably are, make sure you go subscribe to Rebekah's channel. And yeah, let's get her monetized, people, because she's been working hard. Her editing is like on point too. There's a couple things I want to ask her about editing too. We're gonna have to talk all things thumbnails and editing after this video, Rebekah, because
I'm so here for it. Yes, girl, I totally get it. And I learned how to edit literally just by doing it. So yes, I had no experience.
That's how I learned too. You just gotta like jump into it, make some mistakes, learn as you go, and you learn. Oh, look, my mom popped in. This is my mom, everyone. Hey, Mom.
Hi, Mama Sunshine.
And so we have Abby and Honey here. She's got a cute dog too, Honey. I love her.
Yes.
Did you see? Okay, so on Instagram, Abby posted a video of Honey, and she was watching one of my YouTube videos, and her dog was like looking at the screen like she wanted to get one of my cats. It was so cute.
Oh, that's adorable.
And then we have Lauren over at Call It Favor. Hey there. And my mom says she's going to go subscribe to you. Yay.
Yes, Carla is the real MVP. Love that.
And then we have Shani Sells over here. Thanks for stopping by. Oh my goodness. It's so like, I've never done a live before. So keeping up with this chat here, it might be a little bit of a trouble. Might be difficult for me. So
that's okay.
Rebekah has her chai tea here, and I have my iced coffee. So y'all let me know what you're drinking over there if you're having a little afternoon pick-me-up. So I have a cold brew iced coffee with oat milk.
I have a vanilla chai latte because that is my go-to drink.
Okay, what brand tea do you like?
So I love to get Big Train, the powder mix for the chai. It is really good. And the only other kind I really, really like is Starbucks as well.
Starbucks. So, I like the Starbucks Tazo tea.
Yes,
That's it. I got it from Publix BOGO last week, so I was pretty excited about that.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Oh, my sister-in-law Bethany's here too. Yay, the whole family's here.
That's great. Jeremy's in here too, my husband, up at the top too.
Oh, yes. Jeremy, yes. There's Jeremy, her husband, saying hello.
Excited to learn more about me. Thank you, love.
I'm sure he knows more than anyone here, but that's sweet. And then we have, Abby's about to go make coffee. Love it. Oh, and he says hello again. I'm drinking coffee.
Yes.
I had Earl Grey last night. It was so good. Oh, I love Earl Grey tea and also coffee. Drinking water. Good for you, Bethany.
I was about to say water.
So she should not be drinking too much coffee. So
I think that's great. We were just talking right before we started too. I don't like coffee or tea. Like my only thing I drink is water or a vanilla chai latte. It's kind of like either here or there, nothing in between.
Nothing else caffeinated. That's probably good though. That's good. All right. So I have a bunch of questions here for you, Rebekah, to get to know you a little bit about your reselling business. And we can just chat in between anything that kind of comes up. If anyone has any questions for Rebekah, feel free to comment and we will try to get to those. I'll try to keep up with the chat, you know. So anyway, first of all, Rebekah, how did you get into reselling?
Okay, so growing up, my mom took me thrifting all the time. You know, it was one of those things I was embarrassed about. But then when I got older, oh my gosh, thrifting is just so much fun. And I would just want to go thrifting all the time. But then I was kind of like maxing out my own wardrobe with thrifting. Like, you know, when you're thrifting too much. And so when I was going thrifting, and it was the worst too, because I would go thrifting and I would find really cool pieces and they weren't my size or they weren't my style. And I'd just be like, oh my gosh, I just have to leave this on the shelf. And it is so freaking good. So I was like, okay, I'm going to believe in myself enough. I'm just going to start picking those pieces up, even if they're not like for me. And maybe I'll try to resell them eventually. And so that's kind of like how it started. I started my Poshmark originally to resell my own clothes in my closet, just because I was so tired of going and taking things to Plato's Closet or like
getting $3.
Yes, $3 for something you spent like $50 for. But like it just was so not worth it. I was like, there's no way. There's got to be a better way to make money off of my used clothes. So yes, I started my Poshmark just reselling my own clothes. And then I started actually picking up those pieces that were really cool from the different Goodwills I would go to.
That's such a good eye. So I love this.
Thank you. I think you have a good eye too. I love some of the vintage pieces you pick up. I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's so lovely.
You had like a granny sweater in one of your recent hauls. I'm like, that is so good. I totally would have grabbed that. And then that little polka dot one. I was like, oh my gosh, I want that. So cute.
Yes.
So you thrifted from the time you were like a kid.
Yes.
So when did you open your Poshmark closet?
I only opened it, I would say like, I think 2018, 2019. So I've only had that for about 2 or 3 years, but I didn't start like actually trying to resell, like actually do it as a business until probably about 8-9 months ago. So
cool. So your YouTube channel like chronicles you from like becoming reseller.
Literally. Cool. It starts at the same time. I would pick up a few random items before I started my actual reselling journey, but when I started actually thrifting to resell was on my honeymoon. So
awesome. And you're like, let's just videotape this.
And
that's awesome.
Isn't that so funny? I just am like, other people do fun things on their honeymoon, but I honeymooned in the middle of the pandemic and went thrifting. So
oh my gosh. Well, the FI resellers, I don't know if you follow them. But they are on their honeymoon literally right now and they're thrifting. They're like posting pictures at the bins and they just found like 3 Johnny Was shirts today at the bins. I'm like, okay, that is like the honeymoon special.
Oh my gosh.
That never happens.
That's amazing.
That's really cool. That's really cool that your husband was so supportive and let you thrift on your honeymoon. Like what?
Yeah. Well, the crazy thing is he didn't grow up thrifting. He thought it was weird. I wanted to thrift while we were dating. But then right before we got married, we got engaged in July and married in August.
Oh my gosh.
So we had a 1-month engagement. And during that time, I was very stressed out, but he decided that was the perfect time to start a Poshmark closet. So he started Poshmarking while I was trying to plan our wedding, but he was so supportive. So
he was selling on Poshmark too?
Yeah. So he started going through his closet and was like, I want to start thrifting to sell on Poshmark too.
Oh gosh, I love that. Dude, I need to get my husband on board. Yes. He needs to start reselling.
Yeah, really. It's really great help.
So my husband has actually never been to the bins with me.
Really?
He's never been.
Oh no, that's not good. He's got to go.
Yeah, and then if he takes me to a thrift store or a garage sale, he'll just sit in the car while I go. Which he's super supportive. Like to sit in the car for 45 minutes.
Honestly, yeah.
Like, that's really sweet. Like, but still, I'm just Yeah, it's just not his thing. So
You know what? I feel like that's totally fine. Like even if he's sitting in the car, I feel like that's worse than going in. I would totally much rather
go
go
in any day. There's air conditioning. There's
Uh-huh.
lots of cool stuff to look at. There's couches in there that you know sit on and maybe get in trouble for.
Yeah, you're always seeing old men sitting on the couches in the thrift store. Like,
There's always like a little old man bench where someone's just sitting there waiting for their wife, you know.
Yep.
So yeah, it's a thing. So where do you mostly source, Rebekah?
So I think you might know this, but I go to the bins for almost everything I resell. I love them. Yeah, it's just so much cheaper than everything else. I know. Yes. Back home in Indiana, our Goodwills were like pretty cheap. Like you could get things for $2 to like $4, but over here in Maryland, it is no joke. If you go to Goodwill, you're paying like $12 for something.
Oh my goodness.
And it's ridiculous. I can't do it. The bins, they are the way to go. Everything's so cheap.
Well, and I feel like those overpriced items in the normal Goodwill end up at the bins. And the next thing you know, you have this, you look at the tag and be like, this was priced at $14.99. No wonder I found it at the bins because no one wanted to pay that. So, and I mean, even when it's at the bins, it's like, or at the normal Goodwill, I don't know, my Goodwill, I feel like they rotate their tags so quick that like, there's just constantly stuff going to the bins. And then there's stuff that never even hits the regular Goodwill that ends up at the bins that are not tagged. So anyway, it's crazy what you can find at the bins. I mean, y'all, if you want to see what you can find in Maryland, go check out Rebekah's hauls because she has, it's Maryland, right?
Yep.
Okay, I was like, wait.
No, you're right. All of the East Coast kind of blends together. And like I'm hot. Yeah.
But I mean, you just find some really great stuff. And it's, I don't know, I feel like those are the same things I would be finding at Goodwill and paying more for. Right? Don't you feel like that sometimes? Yes,
all the time. And I think too, like I found better things at the bins than I do in my Goodwill. It's so much less picked over. So at least at my bins, they're constantly flipping everything that's in the bins. So if you're there for a long time, you can find some really great things. Like I've found Versace in the bins before, Fendi, like it's great.
I found fake Fendi in the bins before.
That kind of counts. I feel like that's a half count, you know?
Yeah, something. We have Nakoma Fines here. He also has a YouTube channel. If y'all aren't subscribed, go check him out. So hey, go subscribe to Rebekah's channel if you're not, everyone. All right. So strategy for the bins, Rebekah. Do you have any strategies that you use to source effectively at the bins?
Yeah, so I feel like my first few times sourcing in the bins were kind of crazy. I did terrible. But I feel like practice is the number one tip. And also, I go in, I think you do this too, I don't wear any gloves. A lot of people do wear gloves, but I feel like your hands are going to be disgusting by the end. But the only way to really find the great pieces is to feel them, in my opinion.
I completely 100% agree.
Yes, because quality, you can feel the quality so much faster than you can see the piece because things are just buried in there. And so you're digging around and sometimes you just grab something, you're like, oh, that feels nice.
Linen, cashmere, you just feel it.
For sure. So like training your fingers, I feel like is so much better than training your eye because your eye will fool you. People are knocking things off constantly, but they're not going to knock off the quality.
Yep, you can feel the quality. So Rebekah, your bins also is doing things differently because of COVID. Like Florida's kind of back to normal, honestly.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
We're masked at the bins. But other than that, everything's like back to normal. Like it's, you know, free for all, the bins open, people dig. You know, people probably get too close for your own comfort sometimes and reach over you, but your bins is doing things differently. Can you share how the rotations work at your bins?
Oh my gosh, yes, it is so crazy. So I thought that this was like normal across the country maybe with things going on, but everybody's like, what are you talking about? That's ridiculous.
No, I was like,
Oh, the bins I go to are actually in Delaware because where we live in Maryland, we're so close to a lot of state lines. Yeah. So they have all of their bins are numbered. So there's a number on the ground where the bins go. And then you have to wait in line outside for them to give you a number that corresponds to a bin. So then once they let everybody in at the same time, you grab a cart and everybody like dashes to their bin. And so you have 45 seconds to look through your bin. Then they have this bell that they ring and they're like ringing it in your face. And sometimes they walk around and just ring it all of a sudden. And you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to die. And then you move from one bin to the next bin sequentially until you do every bin. And then they give you like 5 minutes to sort your cart. So 45 seconds. It's ridiculous.
It's so stressful.
It is so stressful, but I love it now. Like, I'm like, I don't know if I can go back to normal. Because, yeah, go ahead.
So you rotate every 45 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Wow. And then do you have to check out at the end of everything?
Yes. So you have 45 seconds. So as you can imagine, you're just throwing in anything that's a maybe into your cart. They give 5 minutes, sometimes less, to sort. And then they start yelling at you, and they have an air horn that they like blow. And so I've gotten yelled at so many times because I'm so indecisive. So I'm over there deciding my cart. Yeah, and they're like, stop shopping, get to the checkout line. And I'm like, I'm so sorry.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, my bins, they definitely yell at you too. Like there's always the yelling and the lecturing, and people aren't following the rules, so they get yelled at. Someone gets kicked out. Craziness all the time. That's just bin culture. But
it is, yes.
Air horns? Really?
Yes, and they are scary, man. Yeah, and then you get in line, and of course you go and you weigh your cart, and then you leave, but then it happens again. So almost
you kind of take your stuff to your car and you come back in?
Yes. Yes. So I like to film multiple come thrift with me's during it because I'm going in and out. Yeah. And so when I get back to my car, I film another come thrift with me, go back in, film again. So
separate hauls for one trip.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's a good idea. Hey, I like that.
Yeah, keep that in mind. Yes.
Taking notes. So another thing I was wondering is, do you feel like you find better things because people are digging so fast and moving to the next bin?
Yes, I definitely feel like I feel like I found better things from doing this than allowing people to sit with things. Because when they're sitting there and they're finding like more and more things, at least less things for me to find. But I feel like I'm pretty quick now. Like I've got my system down. Like you just take everything, you flip it all, and you look at all the quality of the things. I don't know how else to explain.
Trust your gut in that situation. Like this feels like quality. Throw it in. This looks good. Throw it in. You don't have time to look up comps, really, do you?
No. Well, it depends on the day. Some people are nicer than others, and they give you more time to sort.
Okay.
But when the mean people, I shouldn't say that they're mean. When the people that are having a worse day are there, yes, that can be stressful. That's when I literally have no time. I'm like, okay, I think this is cute. It's giving me a lot of time to like see if things are good or not. So the next time I go, if it did terribly on my Poshmark, then I'm like, okay, I will not pick that up this time. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I still make bad buys because I just experiment with things at the bins. Like with the cost of goods so low, you don't lose money, like ever, really, honestly. Unless you end up redonating, which I don't do. I'm kind of stubborn and I hold on to stuff and I will relist it before I will donate it.
Same.
So yeah. Anyway, let's go look at some of these questions over here and then we'll talk more about your bins location because I am intrigued. All right. So
it is stressful.
Nakoma Fine says gloves for hard goods and electronics is a must, but not good for clothing. So Nakoma Fines, when you wear gloves, do you wear like thick rubber gloves? Because I have noticed in the hard goods bins, like if people get too aggressive, there can be like literally broken glass in those bins. So yeah, I can totally see why you would wear gloves for that, but I feel like you would need thick gloves, not just those thin like doctor style gloves, So let me know what kind of gloves you wear. All right, the Married Life says Mobile, Alabama is back to normal as well. That's good.
Oh, wow. I feel like if you're not in the hub of the Northeast or like California, then things are probably back to normal. I know my family in Indiana, things are totally normal there. But
back to normal. Yeah, every state is handling all of this so differently. So yeah. This is Baltimore bins are kind of sketchy. Maybe we should give it another go. I love it. Yeah, you should do a sketchy bins video.
So that's the thing. There's one bin that's close to our house. We went there one time and it was the sketchiest experience I've ever had thrifting.
No.
Yeah.
Is it just really like bad. The area is kind of sketchy kind of thing?
That's the thing. It wasn't even the area, but I went in and they had like 10 bins total and they all had like 3 pieces of clothing in them. It was so weird. I was just
like someone came and just like, I'll take all of this.
Apparently, maybe. But yeah, Jeremy, you're right. We should go back to that one again.
You should just check it out again. Maybe, sometimes you have to hit the bins more than once because it could just be a bad day.
That's true.
The bins in Fort Pierce, Florida, down south where my mom is, their bins look totally different. It's like a much smaller building and their bins are more shallow. So like the first time I went there, I felt like it was no good. Like I was just like, this just feels really picked over. But then I went again a couple months ago and it was like vintage gem heaven. Like I found so much good stuff, but they had just rotated stuff. So I feel like sometimes it just depends when you get there if it's going to be a good experience or not. So
that's true.
But
I'm gonna give them another go. Maybe I'll go after this. Like maybe I'll just go on a random thrift trip, you know?
should.
Feels so good.
All right. Andrea. Is that how you say Andrea? She says, hi, I'm going to subscribe to Rebekah. Where in Florida are you? Love watching your channel. Oh, thank you so much, Andrea. So I'm in Orlando, Florida.
Wow.
And thanks for watching and subscribing. I appreciate you.
That's so sweet.
Subscribe to Rebekah. She is so close. All right. She's never been to the bins before. Abby, come visit me and we can go to the bins together.
Oh, how cute.
We go.
And take your dog too. Your dog is so freaking cute.
An adorable dog. All right. What do we have here? Someone says it sounds stressful.
It is so stressful. I feel like it's so much fun though now. It's literally like the most time-pressing treasure hunt of your life. Kind of like an escape room. It kind of feels like an escape room and that you're trying to like find things as quickly as you can.
I love that. It's like probably so much adrenaline. Like you walk out of there and you're just like pumped kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yes, for sure.
That one lady that just glares at you. Please tell me more, Rebekah.
I mean, I try to be so nice to the people at the bins. A lot of them don't speak English though, at least at the one I go to. There's one lady that doesn't like me. I was trying to be nice.
Well, you just gotta find out what kind of stuff she's looking for and then give her something sometime. And that's
tried
people.
Mm-hmm. That's what I do.
Learned that at the bins. If there's someone who just like doesn't seem to like me, I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna watch to see what kind of stuff they're picking up, and I'm gonna give them something. Mm-hmm. So, or just compliment something they picked up, like, oh my gosh, that dress is so pretty, good find. And then they're like, okay.
You're right. I need to be handing out some compliments. I love that. I'll do that.
So intense. I don't know if you have time to like give a compliment. You're like, 45 seconds.
I guess that's true. And sometimes when I'm digging, if I find something that's cute, but I just know I can't resell it, like I try to put it like on the edge of the bin. So the next person coming is like, oh yeah,
I'll lay stuff out all nice. Like this is so pretty. Someone else needs this.
Yes,
especially
exactly.
If I find like a vintage t-shirt that I'm not interested in, I'll lay it out for the vintage t-shirt guys. And if I know someone who's currently at the bins, I think would like it, I'll take it to them. Because I do know at this point a lot of other resellers at my bins location, and a lot of them are looking for completely different stuff than me. Like it's always like those vintage, like you were saying, the vintage t-shirt guys. So,
yes. It's always the guys too. Yeah, they're all looking for those grungy, like dark t-shirts, and that's not my vibe. But good for them. That helps though, because then they're not taking the things I'm looking for.
Yep.
So,
I'm like you though. I will pick up the occasional Harley. Sure.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So I feel like that makes sense. Mm-hmm.
But anyway, they pick up stuff that I just wouldn't see value in. And now I do follow a few of them on Instagram, and I'm like, oh, so this is what you pick up. But, we will leave that for them. And if they find a pretty lace dress, they can give it to me because I know they don't want to sell that.
Yeah, for sure. That's great.
All right. So Nicole Fine says, ours is still open search, no time limit and no restrictions on how many people can be at a particular bin at any time. It's like COVID never happened.
Wow.
Nicole, where are you located again? I cannot remember. So it's good that, San Antonio, Texas, I think he said.
Yeah, I think I saw it up there.
And then Essential Endeavors is here. Yay, Brittany. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Oh, and Abby and Honey, they're on their way to Florida. Awesome.
Wow. Yes.
Man, there are so many comments I missed. Kansas City is almost back to normal, but I'm basically new state, so it's different rule. Ooh, that's weird.
That's interesting.
Is it like that for you too, Rebekah, being like in that or even like a tri-state area where it's like Maryland, Virginia, and...
That's a good question. I'm really bad at geography.
Okay.
And so I have no idea.
Okay.
But when I go to Delaware, they definitely have different rules than here in Maryland. Yeah. And you're right. I guess I am really close to so many different states. Virginia is really closed down, but that's because of Washington, D.C., though, in there too.
Yes. Yeah. So. I have a friend in Virginia, and she's really close to all those other states too. So sometimes when I fly to visit her, like I'll buy a ticket to, at the airport in Maryland, and she'll just drive a couple hours to pick me up. Or I could buy a ticket in, like any state, like in that general area.
That's so true.
So, Texas is acting like the pandemic is over. Aw. Just wear your mask and go with the flow. Yep.
That's good.
Abby and Honey are on their way. Awesome. I'll be waiting for you. Your closest bins is 2 hours away. That sounds like a day trip to me. So you just got to kind of make a whole day out of it. Like go there early in the morning, eat lunch, stay till they close.
Yeah. Do you do anything to just have fun while I feel like I have my fun routine. If I'm going to the bins, I'm driving like a 45-minute drive, But every time I go, I always let myself get a vanilla Coke afterward. You know what I mean?
Oh, I love that.
Like, that's just like my thing. I know if I'm going, I'm allowed to have a French fry and a vanilla Coke. What about you? Do you do anything like that?
So for me, I don't. The bins is kind of like I kind of like zone in now, like I'm going to the bins, I gotta focus. So I don't really treat myself when I go to the bins anymore. But if I'm going to like a normal Goodwill, like that's bougie shopping for me.
I love it.
Or if I'm going garage sailing, then I like get an iced coffee on the way, or I'll get lunch out, or I try to plan like once every couple months, just hitting like all the fancy thrift stores near me and buy sell trade stores and like treating myself to lunch and doing all that. But the bins, I feel like I still treat as like, oh, I just need to get there, spend 3 or 4 hours there and get out. And I'm so bad. Like I'll go there right after lunch and I will stay there till I'm so hungry that I like can't anymore. Like I just can't continue anymore. And I walk out, I'm like, I am so hungry.
Oh yeah. I feel like that's the only way to do the bins. You go until you literally feel like you're going to collapse and then you get some food. Like there's no other way.
One of my bins buddies was like, Chelsea, do you ever eat? I'm like, I do. I just get so hungry here because like it takes everything out of you because it's a workout. Whatever
it really is.
I want to say, it is a workout at the bins.
Yeah, it's a full body and they're always in like warehouses or something like with a concrete floor, I feel like. Maybe it's not the same in Florida, but all of the ones around here, I'm just like, after standing on the concrete for all day, I'm just like, wow, that was a lot. My poor little toes.
So my Goodwill outlet, the new one in my area, actually has like these fake wood floors and it looks so fancy.
Really? Oh, yeah. That's nice.
I mean, it's still hard floors, but it's not like concrete. So yeah, when they put that in, I was like, this is really fancy.
That's really bougie. Yeah.
Because their old location that used to be like off of, well, you don't know where this is. Anyway, their old bins location, the one I went to first, when I first like discovered the bins, it was just really sketchy. Like it kind of smelled funny in there. The lighting was a little off. Like it was in a kind of really rundown plaza. Like the first time I went there, I'm like, ooh, do I want to go in there? And then like there was like a half-eaten apple in the bins. Oh, your Barbie that you held up today. I laughed out loud. It was like a Barbie missing a head in her video.
Yep. I just was like, yep. And then like 2 seconds later, I found like a handful of change in a pocket. You know, it's just like the weirdest things.
Yes. Oh my goodness. The weirdest things at the bins. Like one time I found like a mink fur collar thing, but it had like the head of the animal still on it and the claws. And I was like, it really, like I almost screamed when I saw it because I thought there was a dead animal. And I guess it was a dead animal, but intentionally dead. Oh, it was
scary. I found one time, I have a Patagonia jacket and I was like always looking for a Patagonia jacket for myself. But in the pocket of it, I don't know if you've seen this video, in the pocket of it, I found a guy's passport.
Passport?
Yeah. Like he just left his passport and all of his like hotel information. So I wondered if he like maybe passed away at a hotel or something. I don't know. It's kind of morbid, but like I was like, who's leaving their passport in their coat?
I wonder, like, sometimes I wonder what airlines do when people lose their luggage. Do they donate it to Goodwill? Could it be something like that? Like, that's bizarre.
Well, I know that there is one, I think it might be on the East Coast. It might be in the Carolinas. They have a place called Unclaimed Baggage, and they are the only seller of unclaimed baggage. Like, they buy it off of all the airlines, and then there's one location for it. You should watch some videos on that. There's some YouTube videos. I will have to look that
up. That sounds like a little rabbit hole I could fall into.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure. It is so good.
Oh, that sounds like fun. It's kind of like storage units, but you know, looking at people's luggage and stuff.
Yeah.
That's fun. All right. Do you ever do garage sales and rummage sales?
Yes, I love garage sailing. That's like my jam. In the summer, you're coasting down with your windows open and you see somebody like have stuff out and you're like, oh yeah, it's going to be a good day. That is a fun time. So I've never been to a rummage sale
for yard sailing or rummage sailing. Like, what do you look for? How do you prepare? Like, give us your tips.
So first off, you gotta definitely clear out your car first. We've all been there where you're like, oh, this thing is so cool, and then you can't fit it in the car. That's the worst. Maybe it's just me. I have a small car.
No, I've done the same thing. I have a bookshelf in the corner of my living room now, and we shoved that in my tiny little car one time, and it was like literally through like the back window, through the front window, like this much extra space. Me and my mom squeezed it in there. I mean, you got to do what you got to do, but you got to make sure you have space.
So true. Yes. I've been there where you're like trying to go like 20 down the road, holding on to something through the window. Yeah.
That's great. That's great.
Yes, I love to look for clothes though at garage sales. I think that there's a lot of good digging depending on the area. I like to hit up a very bougie area for garage selling. You always find the best stuff there. And a lot of times too, if you get a lot of items, you can always ask for a group discount too.
Yes.
So that's what I always do. That's so
what
cheap.
I always do too. Like if I generally I'll ask the price for one item first just to get an idea of their pricing. So let's say I want like, you know, this plant. I'll be like, so how much do you want for this plant? And they'll tell me $5. So then I'll go find like 5 other things. And then I'll be like, hey, would you take 15 for all of this? And they usually say yes, because you're taking a lot out of their area. Or you'll just say, how much will you take for all of this if you're not bold enough to make that offer?
Yes, that's true.
So, sometimes when I get nervous, I'll give the stuff to my mom and she'll go make it if I'm garage selling with her, because she is so good about like the wheeling and dealing part.
I feel like that is definitely a skill you have to acquire. I definitely used to be so scared of doing that. But during college, I studied abroad in South Africa, and you cannot buy anything there without wheeling and dealing. You have to barter. Like, if you don't, like, it's offensive. So now I'm like, oh, yeah, everybody, let's just go ask them if they'll pay, like, 50 cents for all of this. Like, it's probably a bad thing, but I'm always like, we can get it cheaper. That's
how garage sales work. You can't just like, I mean, if you want to, if that's your strategy, you can just take the first price. But I like to try to do the bundle deals. If I'm buying one thing, generally I'll pay what they ask, unless it's like ridiculous, then I'll try to get them down a little bit. Or sometimes you just do the whole, oh, okay. And you set it down and they see you walk away and they're like, wait, I'll do this much. And then you get a better deal. So sometimes it's just like, oh, okay, fine. You know, you don't have to say anything. Yes. Treat yourself at the bins. I love it. Do either of you have buy by the pound bins that aren't Goodwill? If so, would you go there as well? We have one that's not Goodwill in addition to the Goodwill. Oh, Abby, you should totally check that out. So I actually just heard about a buy by the pound location near me that isn't the bins.
Really?
Yes.
I've never heard of that.
So my brother-in-law messaged me. It's actually a local thrift store near us that by appointment, they will let you dig through their unlisted or unpulled inventory. So I don't really know how that works, but they did have a price per pound. And I think it was $1.29, which is 10 cents less than my Goodwill outlet. So
that is worth a try. That's awesome.
And also this is a video that's coming out soon. So those of you who are watching, spoiler alert, I also was able to go to a storage unit recently and dig through a storage unit for someone who owns a thrift store that just had too much inventory. So he let me fill a huge black trash bag for $30. It was crazy.
I'm so jealous. That sounds like so much fun. I can't wait. I have to watch that.
Yeah.
Like, go put notifications on.
Oh yeah, turn those notifications on.
I'm on it.
Ring that bell. Oh, Jeremy says that's why you pack snacks. Yes, I normally bring a little granola bar with me, and about halfway through I eat that, and then I'm still hungry. But if I forget my snack, I'm miserable. Like, you gotta have a snack.
For sure.
Amazon bin store, Mississippi. That is fun. I would love to go back to one of those stores. I went to one in like South Florida, but I haven't been in a long time. Do you have anything like that near you, Rebekah?
No, I feel like I have no idea that there is anything other than Goodwill bins. This is great. I'm going to get on Google after this and try to find some things.
Actually, last night I did type in Google Maps and I put in liquidation stores, and I discovered a liquidation store near me that I didn't even know about. So it looks like they sell pallets and then they sell like one-off things. They said they have clothes. I almost want to private message them and be like, well, what kind of clothes we talking here? I don't want your Walmart clothes. What store? Are we talking about? Macy's, Dillard's? I'm game if it's that.
That's great. Dang. So, that sounds like so much fun.
Look into. You know what? Another thing I've learned too from one of my friends is Facebook Marketplace is a great place to learn about all of these other sourcing methods, because that's
true.
They do advertise for themselves there. They want people to come to their store or their liquidation center, so they're going to advertise. She wished she had one of those. Yes. They have a luggage resale shop just for lost luggage. That is cool.
Yes, that's I think what I was talking about, unclaimed baggage. Oh, we'll get there in a second. Yes.
Okay, so it's in Alabama. Okay.
Alabama. Again, bad at geography. No idea where that is.
Not too far from Alabama. Maybe I need to make a road trip there. Mom, are you up for a road trip to Alabama to look through other people's luggage? Oh, Scottsboro, Alabama. See, we're making progress here. Long time, but it's a big store. I wonder, like, how much do they charge for these bags?
So they actually, from all of my YouTube journeys I've watched, they actually unbox everything and then it's hung like a normal Goodwill or like a normal thrift store.
Okay.
And then, yeah, so you don't actually get to sort through the actual luggage, but they also have some luggage for you to buy.
Okay. So is it like an overpriced thrift store?
From what I've seen, it looks pretty reasonable, but you also can buy like a $10,000 tennis bracelet there. So it really varies.
Hit and miss. Okay. So Nicole Fine says estate sales on the last day is also good for clothing. They will typically do a bunch together. That is awesome. For next to nothing, if you ask. Yes. Normally when I make it to estate sales, it's later in the day because I'm not a morning person. So garage sales.
I'm not either. Oh, Chelsea, I hate waking up early. I was so glad when we did this in the afternoon. I was like, can we not do it in the morning?
Yes, me too. I mean, I can get up. If I have a reason to get up early, I will. But like generally speaking, I do enjoy sleeping in on Saturdays. So yeah. So it's got to be a really good estate sale or garage sale for me to warrant waking up early.
I've never been to an estate sale actually. Like, I don't know how. I love Goodwill. I love everything thrifting. I love garage sales. I'm gonna have to hit up some estate sales. I just never see them advertised. Where do you look for that kind of thing?
Someone said estatesales.net is a good place to look. I still haven't done that. Shop Foxborough. She had a video recently where she showed where she sources a lot of plus size vintage. And I think she's the one who shared that little tip. But go check out one of her recent videos because she said the name of the website, but I can't remember exactly what it was at the moment.
Okay, I can do that.
She learned how to barter visiting. Yes. I love it, Abby.
It's true.
When I went to the Philippines, I had a little bit of culture shock there because the prices, they will, especially because I was, a white American, they like would price gouge me. And then I had some locals with me who were like, no, that price isn't fair. You give her a better deal. She's my friend. And then like they would work the price down. It was fun.
That's so nice. I feel like we just all need to go to another country and then we'll come back and we all can barter then. That's perfect.
All barter. We'll learn the ropes.
Yes.
They also have amazing clothes. You just have to dig through them to find them. Yes, you do have to dig. Fill a bag sales. Oh my goodness. Have you been to a fill a bag sale lately, Rebekah?
I have never been to one. This is so sad. I feel like I've never been to all these cool things, but I have never seen one. I feel like they just don't have them in my area, maybe.
So usually it's church rummage sales that do this.
Yes.
And they do it on like their last day of their garage sale or like the last hour or something like that. Actually, I went to a church garage sale earlier, kind of like when I started YouTube. And I was like just buying stuff thinking it was $1 a piece. And then I get to the register and they're like, oh, it's fill a bag for $5. And I was like, I'll be right back. I'm going to go get some more stuff. So I went and like shoved like 2 more bags worth or something. It was fun.
That's amazing.
You buy unclaimed baggage mystery boxes online. Oh my goodness. That sounds like fun. That would be a YouTube video.
That is a good YouTube. I think she said that she did one on her channel maybe. Yeah. Marade Life. Girl, you have a lot of good tips. You guys go check that out.
Yes. So my mom says we're planning a thrifting trip. Me and my mom upcoming this summer. So she says Alabama's not. No, we're heading up towards North Carolina. So yeah, my aunt lives in the Charlotte area and there's a really good bins location there that I went to once before. And it was like so good. I didn't want to leave. So I have been like, okay, Mom, we need to make a trip back up there sometime. So it's a
wow. That is so cute.
Love a good thrift trip. Yes. Oh, Brittany, I can't.
Ooh, why?
Oh, sleeping until 5:30. What a treat.
Oh my gosh. Do you have young children? Like, why are you getting up so early?
She works out in the morning with her husband. They like make their gym trip a kind of like part of their morning, which kudos to you. That's awesome. So actually when I used to teach for VIP Kid for about a year. And when I did that, I used to wake up at 5:30. But the problem with that for me was my husband is a total night owl. So like we were just never on the same schedule. So reselling, I feel like works with our schedule better. And now I just stay up late with him and wake up with him and perfect.
That's great.
Is your husband a night owl?
No, he is a morning person.
He is? Oh
It's
my
a
goodness.
struggle. Yeah, I'm such a night owl, and he is the complete opposite.
Oh,
So
no.
yeah, but we've only been married for like 6 months, a little bit over that. So we're still working it out, but
Still
it's
learning
tough,
your
man.
groove there. Yeah.
Yes.
Couldn't sleep in if I tried. I can sleep in till like probably noon easily.
Oh yeah, for sure. At least. Uh-huh.
I like have to set an alarm if I want to wake up. Like I just sleep and sleep and sleep. If I actually
Mm-hmm.
want to wake up at a certain time in the morning, I have to set an alarm. So I'm
I'm
glad
so
you
the
can
same
relate,
way.
Rebecca.
I know, I'm so the same way. I could sleep forever, but I could also like stay. This is my thing. I love to read books so much, but I have to like read them in one setting. So I will start a book at night and I'll just read into like, I used to do like 5 o'clock in the morning, finish the book and then sleep in. Like, I don't know how I did that. I probably could still do it, but I like to sleep in. I do not like to get up early. It's
Well,
so
that is
bad.
the best part about working for yourself is you can kind of like pick what time you want to get up, what time you want to go to bed, what hours you want to work. If you work best at night, you can work at night. If you work best in the morning, you can do that. Like that, I think is like one of the best perks of this job.
I agree.
So what time do you normally list, Rebecca? Are you a morning lister or a night lister or like do you list daily? What's your routine there?
Yes. So having my husband help has been really, really good. So he has been taking the pictures for us, and then I will try to list. We usually list at night. So I'll list while we're watching something together or after we're done eating. But I'm also trying to transition to listing every day for like an hour in the afternoon and just doing it. Because I worked as a content writer for a year in marketing. So I'm a good writer and I can write really quickly. It's just like psyching myself up to do it, you know?
Yep, I totally get that.
Do you do the same thing? Like, do you list every day or do you have a set time or do you just kind of go with however you're feeling?
So, yes, I do both. When I'm in a good routine, I do list every morning. So, like, while I'm drinking my morning coffee, after I read my Bible and I kind of chill for a while, then I'll start listing right then. And I try to have everything drafted the night before. So that way, like, everything's drafted. It's in Poshmark. All I need to do is list it. So then I'll sit there and I'll list it. And then I'll check on my VA's work, list anything my VA did. And then after that, I'll usually have lunch, do my shipping, and then I will go photograph stuff and get it drafted for the next day. Unless it's a bins day, then all of my schedule just goes out the window and it's like bins.
Yes, for sure. That's so good. Dang, that is a great. I feel like you're very on top of it. Have a good
It's
like
the
good
teacher
schedule.
in me. I like thrive on routine because like when I was a teacher, it's like everything has a schedule. Like we do this every day at this time. Like there was a certain way to do everything, and it stuck with me for sure. Plus, my mom's that way. She's a very organized person, so I feel like it's been ingrained in me since my childhood. But I'm not always organized. Sometimes I have to like take a step back and be like, okay, I'm losing my mind. I have to like, recenter, come up with a better schedule for myself. So that's a thing about working for yourself. You kind of just gotta like recenter sometimes and be like, okay, I'm not being as effective as I can be. What can I do to like use my time better? Do you ever have those days where it's like it's been a week and you feel like you got nothing done?
Oh my gosh, yes, all the time. It's so bad.
And then there's, okay. Do you feel more motivated when your sales are good to list?
Oh yeah, for sure. You're like, oh yeah, nothing can stop me. I'm gonna sell everything, and then like 2 weeks later, you're like, I haven't sold anything in like a day.
And it's like I don't want to list anything.
Yep,
Okay, zero sales day. It's like so like demoralizing. Like that's it. I'm done listing. I'm done being a reseller. And then the next day you'll make like $100 in sales. You'll be like, woo!
For sure though. Every time I like sell nothing that day, I'm just like, should I be doing this? Should I stop trying to resell? What am I going to do? I have so many things in my inventory. And then you're like, oh, okay, it's fine.
Yep, I can totally relate to that. Totally relate. Married Life had to go. Thanks for stopping by, girl.
Yeah, it was nice to talk with her.
Oh, and look, Rags to Riches is here. Hey.
Hey, Sunshine. Oh, so cute.
Hi, Sunshine. Aw. Oh, you live in Charlotte. Right. Dreamer lives in Charlotte. Well, I'll be up in your area soon, girl.
Apparently you've got a good bins near you. You got to go check that out. That's great.
Yes. Oh, girl, if you have not been to that bins, go. All right. So she says they like to chill for an hour and drink her coffee and eat breakfast. Yes, I'm all about a nice slow morning. And then she's at the gym for a solid 2 hours.
Wow, you go, girl.
I'm lucky if I get 10 minutes on my bike at home. I have like an indoor little bike that I got for free. And I thought it would make me, super motivated to work out. It hasn't. Takes 3 weeks to build a good one. Okay, we can do this. We can do this.
That's awesome.
Shoot for 7 to 8 hours of sleep. You know what? I agree. That is the key there, is making sure you get enough sleep, whether you're a night owl or a morning person. I've read a lot of studies about long life and sleep. Like they're correlated there. So anyway, I do have a few more questions for you. So, here's a fun one. What was your best flip to date? Like, what's the one flip that you think, oh my gosh, I was so excited about that sale, either like the highest profit or most unique? Would you share?
Oh my gosh. This is the thing. I feel like all of my best finds usually come from the bins. I have like a top 3. Can I share all 3?
Yes, please do.
Okay. Wait. Okay. One time I was at the bins, and in my Goodwill, like, it's crazy, but things are divided. There's only clothes on one side. There's only hard goods on the other side. But I was in the clothing, and then I was like digging, and I saw something that was hard at the back of the bin. And I went to grab it, which is really nice. I'm 5'10", so like some people can't reach to the back of the bin, but I can. And I found a Nintendo 3DS just chilling in the back of the bin, and it worked. And we sold it for like $150. So that was so good. Yeah. Oh, Jeremy, you're right. Sorry, Jeremy is helping me out, my husband. He's like, the Ariana Grande sweatshirts. Yes, so true.
Oh, he's giving it away. Spoiler alert. Let's put this up here so you can tell us all about it.
Okay, so I was in the bins. I was with my mother-in-law. This is her first time in the bins. And I found this Ariana Grande sweatshirt. And I was just like, oh, this is kind of cool. But it had a stain on it. So I didn't know if I should get it or not. And then I was looking it up. And they were selling for all like $150. Even with a stain. So I grabbed it, and then some guy was, sorting his cart out. I went over to his pile of things he left, and there were 3 more. So I grabbed all of them. They all sold within like a week. They were all stained, and I made like $150 on all of them. It was crazy.
Each of them?
Yeah.
Oh my word. What a gold mine.
Yes. There's so many good things.
Was it like a concert sweater, like from a specific concert?
So they were all from her Sweetener tour. So I don't know much about Ariana Grande, but I was like,
my niece loves her. I know that.
Okay, there you go. And so those were a good money maker. My best like find of all time hasn't actually sold yet, but I did find Versace in the bins. And it was real Versace. And so I sent them into ThreadUp to have them authenticate it because I didn't want to mess with that in case they weren't real. But they were real, and they're up for sale for right now for like $1,200 each, which is crazy. And I got them in the bin.
What was it? Shoes, purse?
So I found there are 2 blazers. And I sent in a skirt as well. Yes.
And you found these at the bins?
At the bins. Yes.
Oh my word. That's amazing. So it's for sale on ThreadUp?
It is right now, yes. Okay. They've only been up there for a little bit. So hopefully they sell. If not, I'm going to bring them back, and then I will sell them myself.
Did you mark up the price, like, on your end?
No. That's what they listed them at. And then I brought the price down, actually, because I was like, that's a lot. That's really crazy.
People on ThreadUp are crazy, though. You should see, like, some people's sales on there. I'm like, why would you pay that much for that item? Like, I don't understand. But, wow, Versace. That is exciting. And then if it doesn't do well for you at ThreadUp, you can even try the Real, or you can sell it on your own. I mean, there's so many options for selling like luxury items.
I know. And so I was like, okay, now that I know it's real, I have so much more that I can do with it. I can sell it myself. I did look into the Real, so I'll do one of those too if it doesn't sell. But I mean, hopefully it just sells and I don't have to do a single thing. That'd be great.
I hope so, because it is just comforting knowing that that business is dealing with it. They authenticate it. They're shipping it. It's not going to dig your account. Like, it's just really nice. And I think Poshmark, if you sell over a certain amount, don't they have some type of authentication?
Yeah, I think it's either 500 or 1,000. I feel like it's...
I've never hit that on Poshmark.
Yeah, no, me neither. No.
I have made some like higher end eBay sales around like $300, but never...
What it, girl?
Yeah, eBay is where I've made most of my higher sales. I feel like on Poshmark, my highest sale was probably like 200 or something.
That's great. Yeah, what were your biggest sales?
Okay, so I found this aviator jacket at the bins one time, and it sold on Mercari for $250 within like a couple days of listing it. And I guess it was like like if you're a pilot, you need this type of jacket.
Oh,
Oh,
cool.
anyway, I think I might have even underpriced it at $250, but the person just bought it outright. So that was really cool. And then just recently, I found a shirt. Actually, that wasn't my highest sale on eBay. My other highest sale on eBay was a Guns N' Roses t-shirt. So I got it from a garage sale for $1.
Yes.
And I sold it for $299. That's
crazy. So good.
You know what the thing is? Like, yeah. I didn't even know for sure it was vintage when I bought it. I just thought it was like a cool shirt. Like it was double-sided. I'm like, oh, I can make at least $25 off of this. This is really cool. Come to find out, it's vintage. It's a desirable style. It was double-sided. I mean, it was good. So
dang.
I was doing what those vintage t-shirt guys do accidentally.
That's amazing. Dang, that was a good find.
It was Love really fun. I wish I could run across those type of items on
every day. Mm-hmm.
The girls are getting back together. You and Lori are hilarious. I need to start shipping here in like 15 minutes. All right, go get shipping. She drives her stuff there every day too. So you got to get there before your post office closes.
Yep, that's what we're going to do after this too.
Gotcha. Okay, well, I don't want to keep you too long then. They're talking about traveling or something. Hey, flippin' sports guy. Thanks for stopping by and saying hello. Make sure you go subscribe to Rebekah. I'm just going to keep saying that over and over again.
You know, I'm not opposed at all to that. That's great.
Yes, she needs 80 more subscribers, people. That's it. She is so close.
So stinking close. It's so like, oh, I just can taste it, you know? Did you do something special or like for fun once you hit your 1,000 subscribers?
I got tacos.
I just almost lost my chai. You got tacos. I love it.
Yeah. So what did I do? I did have a beach day recently. That was kind of like a little celebration. And me and my husband went and got tacos because that's like my all-time favorite food. I love tacos.
That's so cute.
What else did we do? I don't know. It was just really exciting. Like I felt like, oh, I did the giveaway, which was fun. But yeah, it's just been really crazy. It was a lot of fun. I didn't have like a party or anything, but you know, my family all congratulated me and stuff. Some of my family watches my channel, so they knew.
That's cute. Oh,
anyway.
That's great.
Okay, so it looks like Lori and Hope are thrifting together in Boston. What? Oh, I cannot wait to see those vlogs. Those are going to be fun. It says, dang, that vintage find. Why, thank you so much. Oh, you're subscribed to both of us. Okay, this cat. Oh, so
cute.
So cute. What is this cat's name? I need to know.
I need to know what breed. Like it's so symmetrical. I love it.
It's a beautiful cat. It's so
that is really pretty. Oh my gosh. I need to bring
members stopping by. Hey, Jeremy.
I forgot, but I have Otis, and I have to show Otis.
Oh, yes. Please show Otis. I should go get one of my cats real quick.
Do it. Here, I'm going to mute myself.
Show and tell. That's what we do on our YouTube channels. We show things.
Odie, can you say hi to the people? Yes.
Cosmo, meet Otis.
Oh, you guys are going to be best friends. There you go.
Cosmo's like, I'm not having it. Look at how angry he looks.
Oh.
My cat looks so angry and your dog looks so friendly.
Yeah, he's a very friendly dog. He loves cats too. So yeah, one of my best friends had a cat that he got used to. So he would always try to play with the cat and the cat was like not having it.
Oh, that's sweet. Yeah, I feel like my cat would be scared of a dog. But
yeah, that makes sense.
We're not really around dogs much, but yeah.
Oh, you're so big. I'm sorry.
Whenever my cats see like another cat or a dog outside the window, they puff up like so big. And then their tail looks like a raccoon tail. And they just like dart around the house like all scared. Oh, you gonna say hello again? He's like thinking about it, but not really.
So cute.
Oh, she has a Maine Coon. Oh, it has Maine Coon in him.
That makes sense.
I thought that Cosmo might have some Maine Coon in him, but my husband says no, he's just a normal fluffy cat. And I said, fine. Rebekah, are you in Indiana?
So right now I live in Maryland, but I am from Indiana. Go Hoosiers, go Midwest, love it. But yes, my heart's there for sure. Oh, probably maybe this is it too. Where is my finger? Right here. Yes. That's where Jeremy and I are both from. That's where we grew up, and that's where we went to school. And then, he got a job at a army base, and that is why we are over on the East Coast. Yes.
Gotcha. Okay, so is your family still in Indiana?
Yes. So all of our family lives in Indiana.
Are you thinking of maybe moving back one day?
Yes, for sure. We would love to. So Jeremy's looking at other different, like, I live in Indy. Yes, that's where we're looking at moving. If I move there, let's get together, girl.
Yes.
We would love to move closer because literally our entire family is there, except for like his one brother who lives in DC. But
that's awesome. I have family in Michigan. I actually grew up there.
Oh,
so
really?
Not far from you.
I love Michigan. I've always thought, oh my gosh, it would be so nice to live in Michigan. People in Michigan are just like so nice, and they just have the best weather, I feel like, minus like all the snow.
It's beautiful in Michigan. So my mom actually has a house currently in the UP. It's like a duplex, and my grandparents own one half and she owns the other. So we do like to vacation up there still. But I grew up in Lower Michigan. See, I'm doing the Michigan.
Yes, I was going to say, yeah, we got to do that.
So I grew up in Lower Michigan, and but now they have the cabin in the UP, which is a wonderful place to visit. I need to make my way up there again. It's basically like buying a flight to Canada, though. It's like so expensive to fly there.
It really is.
Yeah.
We, for our honeymoon, because it was in the middle of the pandemic, so like August 2020, we were pretty locked down. So Jeremy and we just like drove around Michigan for our honeymoon, actually. So we were all over Michigan. We went to, oh gosh.
What part?
We went everywhere. We started off in like, we went to Holland, Michigan. Holland is so good. And then we went, sorry, what'd you say?
Don't they have like a tulip festival there or something?
Yes, that's what they're known for. Yeah. Okay. Holland is actually where he and I had our first date. And so then we went to Mackinac Island. We went all over. I love Michigan.
I love Mackinac too. How fun. So Blessed Child says her cat did a Bible lesson. You can see him on your channel. Okay, I'm definitely going to have to go check that out soon. That is probably like the cutest thing ever. And Cosmo looks bigger on camera. He's actually not the biggest cat ever. Someone said Cosmo is huge. He's not super big, actually. He just looks bigger on camera. My cat Leon, who is like a normal feral cat, he's much bigger. So I think the camera just makes people look bigger or smaller or taller or shorter.
Oh, for sure.
I did not think you were as tall as you are, Rebekah.
I know.
I was like, wait, you're how tall?
I know. I know. It's the thing. Like my torso is a lot like longer than my legs. I don't know. The whole thing is kind of weird. But yeah, I get that. I'm like, I have no idea how tall you are, but
5'6".
See, I thought you were like 5'8". That's the thing.
I'm shorter than you.
I bet. Yeah. Oh, fun.
Maybe one day I'll be as tall as you.
If you just eat all your vegetables. There you go.
Children, eat your vegetables if you want to be tall like Rebekah. Okay, she says she's actually in Fisher. She just says Indy.
Yes. Oh, for sure. That's actually, I think we were looking either at Carmel or Fisher's. So, yeah.
Oh Jeremy, if you want to go be her neighbor. You guys would make the best collab videos ever. Your personalities together.
I would love that. Also, her hair is just like on point.
Oh, I know that those curls in those recent videos were like amazing. What, Brittany? This is my first super chat ever. Oh, thank you.
So cute.
Well, I'll catch you later. And yes, I think Rebekah is going to hit 1K in no time. I mean, her channel is great, so I have no doubt that she will hit it. Thank you so much, Brittany. I appreciate it.
That's adorable.
All right, let me see. I have a few more questions for you. First of all, I think you already answered this, but what platforms do you sell on?
So I mostly sell on Poshmark, but we also have Mercari.
Okay.
So I've been looking at expanding into eBay as well. eBay just makes me so nervous. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Were you nervous to start selling on eBay?
I like deliberated on starting an eBay store for probably 6 months before I did. I don't know, like it's not as bad as you think it's going to be. I'll tell you that right now.
That's good.
Mercari, you just have a little bit more to learn until you're ready for eBay. And you know what? If you make mistakes in the beginning, it's not the end of the world. Plus, I feel like you'd be fine. Like the only downside to eBay is you handle all your customer service, which I hate. I love how Poshmark deals with stuff and you don't even know it sometimes. Like someone can open a case and Poshmark can deal with the whole thing. But like with eBay, it's like you have to do that communication with your buyer and resolve stuff. So I'd say that's the only downside, but I mean, you don't always have issues. Sometimes you just have great sales and you get great ratings and you sell stuff most of the time.
That's true. I feel like that's probably true of every platform. It all feels really scary, and then you get on, you're like, oh, okay, most people are great. It's just a few times you'll get returns. Even on Poshmark, you do that too.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
that makes sense.
You can't sweat it. You can't sweat it. You just take the return, you move on. Don't stress about it.
Yeah.
So do you have a scale? Like to weigh your
I was like, what?
my sign for scale.
Gotcha. I do have a scale, yes. We have both like a small scale and a large. Yeah, that's true. Let's just do it. I'm in it. We're going to try it.
Just list a few things to get started. Take your time, ease into it. You get 300 free listings, or you get 100 free listings, but then they send you a secret email at some point in the month that gives you more free listings, and you just got to watch out for that email. So about how many items do you have active in your Poshmark store right now?
That's a good question. My death pile is unbelievable right now. Like it's shameful. So I probably have about 500 is my guess.
Wow, that's awesome.
Maybe. Okay. Don't quote me.
Well, one thing that I think makes it really easy to get onto eBay or be consistent with Mercari is having a cross-listing thing like Vendu or List Perfectly or even Seller Insights for just offloading stuff that you think will do well on that platform. And just whenever you have downtime, just start putting things over there and just giving it a shot. Or you can just kind of start listing your new stuff over there and see what happens. But I totally think you could do it.
Honestly, that's a great idea because also Jeremy, I can't say it enough. Jeremy is the most supportive. He does all of my cross-listing for me right now. So he's such a gem. Guys, he's such a gem. So honestly, I might just be like, get yourself a Jeremy to do your cross-listing in the jobs that you don't want to do. It's great.
He confirmed over 500. Awesome. I think I'm at 550 right now. That 600 hump is so hard for me to get over. I was past 600 for probably 2 weeks when I did that. I did a 600 listing challenge with my friend Macy at Blue Consignment. And I was probably only at that 600 mark for 2 weeks. And then it's back down to 550 again. It's just, it's so hard for me to stay there.
Yeah. That's a good problem to have though. That's a great
It means
problem.
that your sell-through rate's good. So, it's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
We will reach out to you if I can find a job at Indy. Yeah. Suggest some good neighborhoods to live in.
I love making friends. This is great. Help us out.
All this networking.
It's great.
Rebekah, I was terrified to start eBay, but I've sold a few things. Yay. And she's honestly loving it. So I'd say, she said to jump in. Yep. And watch out for those scammer emails. You're just going to get a lot of scammers in the beginning, but people do that in Poshmark too. Email me. Here's my phone number. Tell me more about this item. It's listen, I have measurements. I have 16 photos. You might even have a video. You don't need me to email you any more information, you scammer. So yeah.
My favorite is when somebody's always like, is this available? I can't. It's just, it's yes, it's available.
If it's not available. So what I do to kind of ask, is this available? Because sometimes buyers are not active in their Poshmark stores or sellers. So I'll offer a couple bucks less just to make sure that they're there. You don't need to ask, is this available? Just make a couple dollars less sale or DM them something, but you don't need to, I don't know. It's just kind of weird when people ask that.
I agree.
All right. He says, I've been selling on eBay. His name's Jeremy too, by the way, BDVX.
Oh, cool.
Jeremy. Yep. He's been selling on eBay for 20 years. And when Mercari started, it was the Wild West. They've come a long way. Yes. I've heard Mercari has come a long way. And Poshmark has too, really. But I haven't been there since the beginning. I wish I had known about reselling way back then.
I do too. I feel like if you would have started off in the beginning, or when Poshmark Canada started out, I just feel like people getting in there at the beginning, you are set. That's great.
Yes, I agree. People in Canada are really, I hope they're doing really well over there. All right. So Jeremy, what's your line of work? So your husband, didn't you say he was in the military?
So he's a civilian, but he works for the Department of Defense.
Okay. Awesome. Top schools, all the stores. There you go. Come to the fort and get the haul I made you. It's getting closer to your 600 items off. My mom. Okay. So my mom also, she's always on the lookout for good stuff for me. She thrifts and sources for me. And every time I visit her, she's got a pile of stuff for me.
Oh, that's so great.
Yeah. It's been one of the good side effects of me making YouTube videos is my mom sees the kind of stuff that I like to pick up. So she knows kind of what to source for me. So that's been really good. Because before it was just like, I'm not really sure what you sell, Chelsea. So showing it on YouTube has really helped with that. But then she also did like a private pick for me the other day where it was someone who had an estate sale and they had a bunch of stuff left over and they were just trying to liquidate it for really low price. So my mom FaceTimed me and I got to shop in someone's closet. It was really fun.
That's amazing. Oh my gosh.
So she's got all those items waiting for me. Lots of vintage stuff because it was an estate sale. So I can't wait to see all of the goodies. I will do a haul once I get it all.
Yes, that's wonderful. That reminds me, like my parents just visited and I did a video where they went to the bins for the first time with me. But my mom was freaking out. She was like, Becca, I don't know what I should grab. I was like, Mom, you've been training for this moment. You've watched all my videos. You know what I like. You can do this. And she's like, yeah, I got this.
Did you find that really cute anthropology sweater?
Yes, she
I
did.
Was like, great find. Yeah.
I know.
Well,
She's
that's
like,
the thing. If you don't know brands, just source for quality. Like, I
Yes.
mean, if someone knows quality, they can, it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
For sure.
So yeah, my mom finds good stuff for me just because she knows my style now. Has watched my YouTube videos, been trained. So definitely. And I'm not offended if someone picks something up and I'm like, no, I'm not really interested in that. Like, I'll tell you if I don't want it. I'm not going to buy something to be nice. So
no, I feel like we've all learned the hard way. You don't buy something to be nice because you will just have it sit for years. Oh my goodness. No, not worth it.
Yes. Sandy C says she loved the video with your parents. Did you have your parents in your video recently?
Yes. So they were part of my intro.
That video. I need to look.
Oh yeah. I think that just came out like on the weekend. So you're not too far off now.
I missed that one. I watched the one from today, but I must have missed that one.
Yes. My parents are so cute. They're like the cheerful, like little, I don't know. You'll have to see.
That's where you get it from. I love it.
Oh, thanks.
So tips for new resellers. Do you have any good tips to share for people who are just getting started out? Maybe some mistakes that you've made that you could kind of learn from, or maybe you've made no mistakes. Tell us.
Oh my gosh. Can you think like, oh my gosh, if you're a reseller, you've made so many mistakes. Like that's the only way you learn from picking up terrible items. I feel like that's the truth. Yes. My best tip, I feel like, well, first off, when I started, I did not share my closet a single time for like the first year I was on Poshmark. Not a single time. I didn't understand. I didn't know. I was so far behind. I wasn't doing it like religiously. I was never on the app. And so I would sell maybe one thing every like 4 or 5 months. And then things really started once I started realizing that sharing is actually important.
It's like the game changer. Yeah.
I don't know how I did that. I don't know why I did that. So definitely.
I didn't know about sharing till I was on YouTube. Like I had to watch a YouTube video to learn that sharing was important. Cause like, I think it says something in the app, but like, I just don't understand it unless someone explains it to me like I'm a toddler. Like I need you to explain this to me in depth. Why is sharing important? So,
It was actually Jeremy, my husband. He, like I said, he joined Poshmark while we were planning for our wedding, and he was sharing his closet all the time. And I was like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "You have to share your closet." I was like, "How do you know that?" Like, come on.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. How did he know?
I don't know. That kid. He probably looked up a video. That's my guess.
Probably.
More kudos to him. But like, just start with the things that you have in your closet as well. Like, you need to get rid of the things, like start with what you have, kind of learn what things work that you already own before you spend any money, I would say. Like, go through your closet, clean it out, film it, put it on YouTube, but then also go and just use those pieces. Don't spend money before you make any money.
Yes. So I definitely started with my own closet too. If you scroll down to the very bottom of my Poshmark closet, I threw a blanket on the floor in front of my closet because I wanted a white carpet, like I wanted it to be white like all the other people on Poshmark. And then I just modeled in front of my closet doors, and the lighting's terrible, but like I just sold my own stuff, and I probably put in like so much work to get those pictures up because I didn't have a tripod. I didn't have a lighting kit. It was just all about good lighting. But you don't really need any of that. Like some of my pictures were dark, but people still bought my stuff. Like if it's a good item, people are still going to buy it. And then I switched to like selling things off my coffee table where I would do flat lays and people would buy it. So you don't need to be fancy. Just sell your own stuff, learn what sells, and then buy cheap when you start buying. Like I don't know. I almost don't even recommend starting in a normal Goodwill unless you know how to look up comps really well, or shop on a sale day, something like, because normal Goodwills, you can lose money. Like
For sure. Like, honestly, the Goodwill is too expensive to really make a great profit. Like, your margins are just not going to be that high unless you find like a $120 item or something. If you're going to find a pair of Rothy's in the Goodwill, that's worth it. But there's so much that's not, for sure. But yeah, I would go to the bins. If you're going to buy, go to the bins after you do your own closet.
Yep. I completely agree. So I did source just little mom and pop stores locally at first because I didn't even know the bins was a thing. I didn't even know it existed. Okay, so when did you find out about the bins? Have you known about it your whole life, or?
No, so I'd never been to one. I was living in Indiana, and the closest bins to me was the one in Indy, actually. But that was like 2 hours away. So I would like beg people on the weekend. I'd be like, guys, I want to go to the bins so bad. And I was like trying to get my sister to go with me, but nobody would go with me. So the first time I went, I think it was on like a bachelorette party. Afterward, I went to a bins because it was in Indy. So yes. So I only started going to the bins pretty much when my channel started, like maybe once or twice before that. Yeah.
When I think it was about 2 or 3 years ago now, I found out about the bins, and it was like the game changer for me. I was like, I can do this reselling thing. Like the bins were like the aha light bulb moment. Like I can make this, I can make a good income. Like I felt like before when I was sourcing normal Goodwills, I would make like $300 a month, maybe profit. When I started sourcing the bins part-time, I was making like $1,000 profit because the bins is so cheap and you can do it in volume because you go in there for 2 hours and you leave with, at least for me, I normally get about 20 to 50 pounds depending on the day. So it's like you always leave with a good amount of stuff. Like your time and your money like are so worth it at the bins. Anyway, it was just like one of those game-changing moments for me. And like I don't know that I could have gone full-time without knowing about the bins. So yeah, the bins is my thing.
I totally agree. Yeah. I'm kind of looking at that too. I like that you are full-time doing this. Did you always know that I knew you were a teacher before this. Like what made you want to I'm sorry, this is totally off the script, but what made you want to do this full-time?
Okay, so I thrifted my whole life just like you. Like when you were talking about thrifting as a child, I was like, yes, that was me. And then you go through that phase of your childhood where it's not cool.
No, it's like, oh my gosh, please, nobody see me while I walk between the parking lot to the actual building.
But then it's like in high school, people started like complimenting my outfits because they were so unique and different. And then it kind of sort of became cool again. And then in college, it was like you were the cool kid if you thrifted. Like thrifting was cool by the time I was in college. So then after college, actually, I went to college to become a teacher. I taught for 6 years before I became a reseller. But like my 5th and 6th year teaching, I was reselling on the side. And I was like consistently making $1,000 a month in that last year, like just reselling on the side. And I was like,
that's great.
I just see so much potential here. And my husband and I, like his mom was a stay-at-home mom. My mom was a stay-at-home mom. We've always wanted that for our future children. So it was just kind of like me thinking, this is my way out. Like, this is my way to stay home. Like, it's always been a dream and a goal and a plan of mine, something we've prayed about, really hoped and dreamed about. And just reselling was that thing that I just couldn't get enough of. It was so fun for me. And it was just like my way to like get out of teaching. And it's not that I didn't love teaching. I do love teaching. It just drains every single ounce of energy out of you. And then when every ounce of energy is gone, you still have to keep on giving because those kids need you. And it's a very just like demanding job. Totally worth it. Totally great job. People who are teachers, my hats go off to you. Like it's a hard job, but reselling has just been like, I don't know. It's like a godsend for me.
That's really good.
So yeah, that's kind of my story why I started reselling. So yeah.
That's great. And I feel like it's really cool too how God uses that. Like I studied missions in school and ministry, and it's always been kind of on my mind. I'm like, how am I going to use that when I'm doing this too? And there's always a way he finds to use it. I think that's
and so now you're working part-time for your nonprofit and being able to, which is like so perfect. Like
and then like getting to interact with all these people on the web. I love public speaking. I love entertaining. Like it's part of my heart. I love it so much. And so it's like a great way to combine everything. And my husband, he has to work from a base or like for the army if he wants to stay with the government. And so this job too, it allows me to move. Yeah, it's great.
Oh, that's so perfect. I didn't even think of that. Like you need to be able to pick up and go whenever. And this job, you can source anywhere. So that is really cool. And I say that I'm not outgoing. I'm talkative. I don't know. It's like I have to kind of warm up to people at first. Like I'm kind of shy at first, but as soon as I feel comfortable with someone, like, I mean, I think I talked to you for like 1 minute and then I was like, okay, we're good.
I know, same.
So Abby says, yay, nonprofit work. Yes, that is such a great way to spend your free time and a way to be a blessing to your community. That's awesome. And I love how y'all are networking over here. I have been seeing these little chats over here.
I know, same. I'm like, okay, Jeremy, you go.
Yes, we are Christian girls. Proud of it.
Yes, for sure.
My other friends, and she is going to be in my channel in a few days here. We went to Plato's together and sold some stuff.
Oh, sweet.
So she said she's glad she caught one of these and met a new reseller friend. I freaked out for a minute because I imagined I was on a Zoom meeting. I thought I was unmuted. Oh, that's so funny. She's a teacher too. So she's done those Zoom meetings. Oh my goodness.
Oh, I believe it. I think it's so funny too. You said you did VIP Kids for a little bit, right?
Yes, yeah.
That's something I signed up to do as well.
No way.
Yeah, so I think I stopped right before I started teaching. I did all of the, like, you have to meet with the person, like, get certified. Oh my gosh,
you did everything and you didn't teach a class?
No.
Oh my gosh, girl. That's so funny.
And now we're both here.
Too.
Yep. That's
so
cool.
I taught for about, probably a year with VIP Kid. And it was very profitable. It's just I'm not a morning person.
Yeah, no.
And there are some night classes that are open, like you can teach late at night instead, which is more my jam, but I just haven't tried it yet. And I feel like when school is in session for the Chinese kids, you don't get as many bookings at night. So in the summer, you can teach at night, but in the normal school year, it's hard. But then I also think what if my husband and I want to be spontaneous on a weeknight? I don't want to have a class booked. I don't know. I just have such a hard time with commitment issues.
Same. Yep.
Plus, I'm the most spontaneous person. Someone's like, hey, you want to go to the beach tomorrow? I'm like, sure, let's go.
Yes, I totally agree. When we were just trying to figure out what day we were going to do this, I was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to be nailed down to one day. I don't know how to plan this. I don't know.
So it really worked out. This yesterday that we were going to do it today. Perfect for me, Rebekah.
That's perfect for me too. I'm so spontaneous too. My husband's a planner. I am not. I love to just go with the flow. So it worked for me.
That's my husband and I too. It's so funny how relationships work that way.
That's great.
So my last question for you is, have you always been a thrifter? But you answered that question already.
Yes, I have.
So that's awesome. Did you do garage selling growing up too, with your mom?
Oh yeah. I grew up in a small town. So you walk to your garage sales, then you would walk home, take everything out, put it in the house, walk back to another garage sale. Oh yeah, so good.
That's awesome. That's so fun. I love community yard sales where you can walk around and get all the good stuff. My friend actually, she recently bought a wheeling cart. So when she goes to those community yard sales, she can throw all the stuff in her cart. I'm like, oh yeah, you are such a reseller. I love it. I love reseller status.
That is true commitment right there. I love that.
Oh, Rebekah, one thing I forgot to ask you. Have you ever used the app? What is it called? Yard Sale Treasure Map?
No, I feel like I'm learning so many new things. I love this. What is it? Does it show me different little?
So I'm trying to see if I can show you what the app looks like, but it's so tiny. So it's called Yard Sale Treasure Map, and people post their garage sales to this app, and you can go in there, and then you can click your radius, how far you want to drive. And I have mine just set at 20 miles right now, but if you zoom out, it'll show you the ones far away, and you can click on them and design your route for your garage selling day.
Well, that is a game changer. I am literally downloading it right now.
Do it. So unfortunately, the app is not as cool as it used to be because they used to have a partnership with Craigslist, and any garage that was posted on Craigslist would also go on the app. Well, now it's just people have to post to the app.
Okay, gotcha.
So you don't get as many listings. So sometimes I'll check Facebook Marketplace too, but I still found a community yard sale or two last weekend using Yard Sale Treasure Map. So it's
that's
so good.
Really good. And I feel when you get one garage sale, there's usually quite a few in the same spot.
I agree. You just
kind of
catch on hey, they're advertising. I might as well throw up a garage sale too. What do you do with old inventory when you move?
So luckily I've only had to move one time with inventory, and that was not the most fun. So when I moved from Indiana here to Maryland, we luckily had my parents drive a van. We just brought everything in tubs. So when we moved from Maryland, I'm not really sure if I have things that have been sitting for a long time. My guess is I'm gonna pull them and try to take them to Uptown Cheapskate or Plato's Closet. Just try to get rid of the things that aren't as profitable, and then I'll just keep the more profitable items. That's probably what I would do.
That's
depends. Mm-hmm.
If we were to move, moving with so much inventory.
Yeah, it's not gonna be fun.
When I even moved this last time, like all my crafting supplies, it was like ridiculous. I'm like, I have got to purge my crafting stash.
That's how I feel. I'm a collector of books, and books are the worst to move. It's so bad.
Yeah. Do you have like multiple bookshelves in your house?
Yes. Yep. So when we moved here to Maryland, we knew that we probably weren't going to stay here forever. We probably were going to move again and hopefully back toward home. So I didn't bring everything with me when we moved here. I left a lot of books at home, and that really helped.
Nice.
So
it's nice of your parents to store stuff there.
Yep, I'm very thankful. They're great.
That's cool. Man, yeah, moving with inventory is going to be, you got to vlog that if you ever do, so we can see how you do it, because that would be interesting to people who want to get rid of stuff.
That's true.
So have you thought about making lots and sell those? So me or Rebekah or both of us? Maybe when you move, making lots and sell them, that would be
That's a good idea. I have made like some things, not to travel and sell, but I just was wondering how it worked logistically. Yeah. So yeah.
That would be fun.
That's always like that's been the dream of mine, to be able to travel the world and not have a lot of stuff weighing me down. I've thought about, actually, if I were to move overseas, because that is a possibility with Jeremy's job.
Cool.
I probably would hire my parents to actually run the business for me, to like be able to just ship out, and then I would take care of everything else, or hire my mother-in-law. Like, we would probably not be able to take things with us, but
that's where VIP Kid would come into play really well too, because if you're in another country, the hours might be better for you.
That's true.
So it's good that you're in the system, because that might be something you want to pick up later in life. So
that's true. But going back to those lots too, I think that's a great idea. I've always thought about doing mystery thrift boxes. Have you ever thought about doing that? Like, I just don't know how to do it, you know?
Yes, I did that for my giveaway, and they sold out within like 10 minutes.
Shut up, Chelsea. Chelseasonshine. Come on, you got to do more of those.
Out so fast. So I was like, I need to do this again. But here's how I would want to do reseller lots if I were to do them again. Because I have seen other resellers do lots, and sometimes I feel like they were just offloading their bad inventory. And that's just me making guesses. And I don't think everyone does that. I've just seen a few resellers where I was like, oh, I don't know, I'd want to buy that. But what I would do is, if I was doing reseller lots, is just kind of do what I did for my giveaway, for my boxes. I would go to the bins, and that whole thrifting trip is just for reseller lots. So that way I could put good stuff in it, some bread and butter stuff, like things that I would actually sell myself. Because I don't want to put stuff in boxes that I wouldn't sell myself, that I wouldn't be excited about, because I just don't feel right about selling something that I'm personally not excited about.
Oh, for sure. No, I think that's my struggle too.
Doing them again, I just get kind of nervous. I don't know. So.
I feel like it's so possible to get such terrible feedback on them, and that makes me nervous. But you're right. Like, you have to just pick up things that you feel proud to actually be sending out.
Yes.
And that's my thing. I don't want to like scam people into buying things, you know? I want people to kind of feel confident that they're going to get good items, for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just feel like I would just hate for someone to not be happy with something, because I pick up stuff that maybe other people wouldn't. Like, I get so excited about granny sweaters.
Yeah, for sure.
Else might be like, why did she throw this dumb granny sweater in my box? You know? So that's why if I were to do them, I would really want to make sure people know exactly what's in it, you know, like not so mystery box style. So anyway, maybe one day I'll do them again. I'm going to have to really think it over, but I'm not against it. So Bethany is subscribing to your channel. She loves your bubbly. I can talk. Bubbly personality. Thanks for the fun conversation. Oh, this is my sister-in-law, and you would love her, Rebekah.
She looks so cute. Thank you, Bethany.
And she also sells on Poshmark.
Get it, Bethany. Yes.
Yep, she's doing it. And she works for VIP Kit too. So she does Poshmark and VIP Kit.
Wow, that's great.
Yep. So good they work well together, honestly. So anyway, we've been here about an hour and 23 minutes.
Oh my gosh, the time just like flew by.
Time flies. Oh, he says theme or brand boxes would be fun to get. I think theme boxes would be something more that I could do. Brands would be hard. Unless I did like a maybe Anthropologie box. I could maybe get enough Anthropologie stuff in about a month to do my
That's what I was thinking. Yeah. That's hard too, because with brand, like the sizing and stuff too.
Yeah.
To get all of the right size. But theme, I'm sorry, I cut you off. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, theme, it's like you could do like boho, preppy, athletic, you know, like a cottage core.
Oh yeah. Easy. Granny sweaters, just a whole box of granny sweaters. There you go. Yeah.
Yes. I love it. I love it. Yeah. I could do stuff like that for sure.
So
does anyone have any questions? We're going to stay on till it hits. I was going to do 1 hour, but you know, we just really clicked, Rebekah. So I'm sorry.
No, I love it. I don't have, girl, we are reselling. We have time. We've got flexible schedules.
We're in control of our own schedule. Yes. So Bethany is all about the cottage core aesthetic boxes. Who else would be interested in that? Let me know.
I know. I'm like, okay.
So if anyone has any questions, we can answer questions for like the next 6 minutes. If not, I'm sure we can talk about something random because we're really good at that.
Yes. I feel like we have enough in common that we can really just, you know, vibe. It's good.
Okay, let's just talk about her sweater again. Like if y'all haven't noticed Rebekah's sweater, what brand is that? Because I feel like I need to go look it up on Poshmark.
It's Madewell. Okay. So this is actually a pretty popular sweater. So I've seen it
I've seen someone on YouTube that I watch who has that same sweater.
Mikkel Jancy has it. I know that for sure.
I was referring to. I
love Mikkel Jancy. She's my favorite.
I'm telling you, we are like so similar.
I love that you know her. That's so good.
Yes, I watch all her videos. She's one of those YouTubers that as soon as it comes out, I'm like, okay, let me get my coffee. I'm going to sit down and watch Mikkel and do nothing else.
Same. Oh my gosh. This is the thing. Like whenever this might be TMI. Whenever I go to the bathroom, that's like my me time. But Jeremy's like, he always knows because I always turn on a Mikkel Jancy video and I just am like chilling there. And he's like, I don't know you, but I want to get to know you.
Okay, that is the best thing I've heard all day. That is so funny.
It might be TMI.
Well, he'll walk into the living room and I'll be playing it. And he's like, oh, you're watching your friend. But if I'm watching someone, he'd be like, wait, who's that? That's not your friend. So he actually said that yesterday when I showed her, like when I was watching your videos, she's like, who's that? I'm like, this is Rebekah and I'm going live with her tomorrow. And she's just like me. And yeah, I did. So he watched about 2 minutes of your videos with me, which was really sweet.
Oh, that is sweet.
What is the name of your closet?
Oh, yes. Oh, there's my husband. We stan Mikkel Jancy.
What does that mean?
I don't know. I'm not cool like he is.
Please elaborate. What does stan mean? I'm going to have to look it up in the dictionary.
I feel like it's when you say I ship. No, that probably isn't the same thing. I don't know. I'm not hip. My posh is Becca Bijou.
That's so funny. I love her channel. And she just hit like 100,000.
100,000. Which
is really
cool. She hit it at Christmas, I think. Yeah. Yeah, so, she's cool.
How long have you been following her for? A couple years?
Ooh, at least a year. It kind of, I feel like the pandemic kind of screwed up my sense of time a little bit.
I know, same. I think I've been following her for about a year and a half or something. But it's just really fun to watch YouTubers grow. Like to see their channels grow and evolve and them get better at editing and stuff. And I feel like we see a lot of that in the reseller community too. Just seeing like new resellers coming up and then just growing and exploding and getting more followers. It's just really fun to watch. Like Harry Tornado was one of those people that like I watched back in the beginning. And then I just forgot about his channel. And then next thing I know, I find him again and he's at like 10K. And I'm like, what?
Dang. That's so good. Good for them.
So Bethany, it's Rebekah Bijou. Rebekah
Bijou.
What is your channel or your closet name?
Overly supportive fan.
New term. That's awesome. Overly supportive fan. Yes, that's awesome. Bethany is my overly supportive fan.
I love it. Jeremy's Poshmark closet, he made it. This is before we knew I was going to do YouTube or anything. So his Poshmark name is hilarious to me. It's Becca is cute, but with 2 eyes.
I love it. That's so funny. Well, you get a little shout out every time someone goes to his. So that is really cute.
It's a little embarrassing, actually, but it's good.
I love it. I love it. If my husband had a Poshmark closet, what would he sell? He'd probably sell NASCAR tees because my husband's into NASCAR and racing cars.
That's cool.
I don't know. That's just funny to think about.
That's a good idea.
Ooh, what is your ideal vacation location to go to if your store was taken care of while you were gone? Oh, that's a fun question.
You go first.
Okay. So my ideal vacation location. So I feel like I'm the type of girl that like I normally just vacation on the East Coast, like in the United States. I'm pretty basic like that. Like going to North Carolina excites me a ton, or going to the UP. But like I would love to travel somewhere overseas just because, like Scotland or New Zealand or England, just try something new. That would be my ideal vacation location. It's just going somewhere overseas and experiencing something completely different. So
That's awesome. Yeah, same. I would love to go to Europe. I've been to France, and I've been to a couple different countries in Africa, but I know. So I studied intercultural studies in school, and so like culture, countries, that is like my jam. So yes, I would love to go to the UK and Ireland, and then I would love to get onto the mainland and like just like take a train and go to like Switzerland and Sweden, like all the places.
Yes.
I think that'd be so much fun.
Okay, let's go together.
Okay, I'm down. I just need somebody to go with me. Yes.
And I need someone to fund my trip for me too.
I know. I'm like, let's go resell for our vacation. Sounds good to me.
Yes. Well, that's why I planned the thrifting trip with my mom, because it's like, okay, I'm working, but I'm having fun, and we're thrifting, and we're on vacation. It sounds like a win-win-win to me.
And honestly, you could probably write some of that off as taxes too, like the actual like driving part. So
yep, I think so. And
that's
then the Airbnb we're getting. So yeah, lots of work there. Hello, Brian Running. If y'all haven't subscribed to his channel, go subscribe. So he's watching while he is taking photos. I love it.
Multitasking, that's great.
For listening to other resellers while I am multitasking. Citrus Flamingo, that's Brittany's closet.
Oh, good. I'll have to.
Why did I say Brittany? Bethany, my sister-in-law. Oh my goodness, I'm losing it.
I feel like that's okay when it comes to your family members. It's like when your mom calls you like your little brother's name. It's like, oh, okay.
I get that too. So are you a middle child? Do you have 2 siblings, 3 siblings, 5 siblings? What's the story here?
Yeah, there's 4 of us.
Okay.
So I have 2 older sisters and a little brother.
Okay, and so you're kind of in the middle-ish?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I'm the youngest girl. And so, yes, I was a baby for like 2 years. And then Jason stole the thunder. So, yes.
Yes, I'm a middle child. I have a brother on each side.
Oh, wow. Okay, so you're the only girl.
I'm the middle child, which, you know, I don't really have the middle child syndrome, though, because I'm the only girl.
Yeah, that's nice. That's a really good spread, I feel like. That's perfect.
I feel like, too. Oh, Japan. I would love to go to Japan. And my husband wants to go there, too. That would be a really, really cool.
Japan is sweet.
Totally jealous of your thrifting trip. Bethany will be very pregnant when we go on this thrifting trip. She is due in, I think, August, if I remember correctly. Bethany, when are you due again? Let us know. But she's going to have my second nephew. I'm so excited. Well, on that side of the family. So, but yeah, my brother. It's so different when your brother has kids. Like my brother-in-law, my sister-in-law, it's fun having nephews and nieces, and it's really special. I love them. But when your own kin has a child, there's just something really special about it. So do any of your siblings have kids yet, Rebekah?
No, I'm the only one of them that's married, actually.
Oh, pressure's on. No.
I know. Every time I thrift a little like baby clothes thing or something, I'm just like, they're so cute. And then my parents get on, they're like, did somebody say baby? They're like sniffing it out. I'm like, no, please, no, not yet. Nope.
You haven't been married that long yet.
No, for sure.
I mean, babies are a blessing. Don't get me wrong.
Yes, for sure.
All right. So she is due in August. Favorite music to crank while working in the office? Man, you're just coming at us with all the good questions. So I like listening to like big band, 50s, 60s type music, musicals, like The Sound of Music, La La Land musicals, The Greatest Showman soundtrack.
Oh, yeah.
And then praise and worship music, Christian music, all the things. So, yeah. What about you?
Yes. So depending on where I'm working, if I am like listing, then I can put on TV shows and I can list at the same time. That is always great. But when it comes to music, Christian music, and then Taylor Swift, she's my girl. And I feel like I also crank the Pride and Prejudice soundtrack from the 2008 movie. Not the BBC version. Love that movie, but the music from the 2008
I have a
version.
Pandora playlist of that.
Me too. Yes.
So, yep. When I'm feeling especially when you're like photographing vintage clothes. It's just such a perfect soundtrack to listen to while you're photographing beautiful things. It's just,
oh yeah.
Yeah, I am right there with you. I want to go to New Zealand. Yes. And visit the Shire.
Same.
Okay.
Yes.
You have to be like, when someone says they want to visit New Zealand, I'm like, you're a Lord of the Rings fan, aren't you? Like that automatically comes to mind. So that's great. I would love to do that. So do you like Lord of the Rings?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I've never read them, which is really crazy to me, but yeah. I love the movies.
I haven't read them yet either, but I need to.
Same.
It's on my list. We actually own the books. I just need to pick them up and read them.
I know. Like I own the books too.
I'm like a Anne of Green Gables fan, but I haven't read the original unabridged Anne of Green Gables. I've read the like condensed version to my class when I was a teacher. I read it every year to my students because it's the best book. It's the best movie ever made.
Oh my gosh. I love this. You are preaching to the choir.
You're a kindred spirit.
I am. I'm your bosom friend. Yes. Gosh, it's so good.
I love it. Yes. So Anne of Green Gables and Lord of the Rings, classics. Everyone needs to read them. All right, she's probably behind because I had to take a phone call, part-time reseller problems, but she just downloaded the Yard Sale Treasure Map app. Yes, I love it. You're going to love it. It's amazing, and you're going to find all the great garage sales now. T Swizzle songs?
Yes, T Swizzle. That's what I call her too. Bethany, yes.
I was like, what? I'm on the Taylor Swift bandwagon, so I don't know anything about this stuff.
I think I just got in early, like 6th grade. Taylor Swift was my jam, and so now it's like, oh yeah, and she's coming out with all her old songs again. I'm for it. But yeah, you're right. Her new stuff isn't as good. Yeah, I get that.
Okay, yeah, you and Bethany could probably talk Taylor Swift for hours. She is a Taylor Swift fan.
Yes.
This is my all-time favorite movie, and Taylor Swift is your favorite singer. Okay, Abby and Honey, you gotta do a collab video with her too, because she's also on YouTube.
Yes, let's do it. Pride and Prejudice. But the real question when it comes to Pride and Prejudice is if you like the 2008 version or the BBC version. You know,
so
Keira
I like
Knightley.
The 2008 version.
Oh yeah, Keira Knightley. Man,
that is such a controversial thing, though. People get passionate about it. They're like, "You're disgusting. Why would you like that version better?" BBC is clearly. I have a confession to make, though. I have never watched the full BBC version.
Oh my gosh.
I started it, and then my husband wasn't into it, so we didn't finish it.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying not to judge you too hard, but also, do I have a little bit of judgment? Maybe.
Okay, so is it on Netflix or Amazon?
No.
I would totally watch it during the day while I'm like listing and stuff, but I need to know where I can view this because I'm game.
That's true. I just own it. I think you have to buy it at this point, unless is there somewhere to stream the BBC old movies? I feel like there has to be.
With Amazon, you can like subscribe to like the BBC channel or whatever and pay an extra subscription. And I did that for a while because I was like, okay, do you like Downton Abbey?
Oh my gosh, yes. Although on principle, I couldn't watch, spoiler alert, after Matthew died in season 4. I was just like, no, I'm not doing it. I can't do it.
I know. It's like, cause he's everyone's favorite.
For sure.
And then when like Lavinia dies and you're like, I shouldn't be happy because I loved Lavinia and she was like the sweetest thing ever, but I really want Mary and Matthew to be together. You're so torn. I'm sorry for all the spoilers, everyone.
I know, I'm like, everybody, I'm sorry.
But it's just I love Downton Abbey. Such a good show. I could rewatch that over and over again.
I could too. Honestly, the first 4 seasons only though.
All the British shows. Have you ever watched Endeavour?
No.
Okay, so it's something that I feel like my husband and I both love because it's like true crime, like not true crime. It's mystery, murder mystery. But then it's also like the beautiful outfits, the beautiful settings, the beautiful scenes. Like it's England, British accent, all the good stuff. It's such a good show. So
that's lovely.
You need to check it out. It's on Amazon.
I can do that.
She owns both versions. Okay, Bethany, I need to come watch it with you. But yes, she likes it because of the overall aesthetic. And I agree. It's something about the aesthetic of that one that is just like so beautiful.
It is really good. I think a lot of that too is just because of how much newer it is than the old one, you know?
Yeah.
But I feel like the 5-hour version is good if you want to get the most storyline. The 2-hour version is good if you are under a time crunch and you just want something beautiful, you know?
Something beautiful to watch. Yeah, I need to watch the BBC version again. Like, I just don't feel like I ever finished it. So maybe I have, and I just forgot. I do that sometimes. Like I've watched shows and then been like halfway through, I'm like, hey, I think I've seen this before. So, oh my goodness. So how much time do you devote to reselling each day? So for me, it's probably anywhere from 5 to 8 hours a day. Sometimes more, sometimes less. It really just depends on my mood and what's going on. What about you?
That is a good question. Again, that spontaneous part of me, I feel like 3 to 5 right now, because I don't know how to lump it in together, because I do a lot more right now probably for YouTube than I do for, I don't know if that's true either. I kind of like lump YouTube and Poshmark together into reselling.
It's all part of your reselling business.
Yeah, and I sell a lot of, do you do this too? I feel like a lot of people will comment on my videos and ask, hey, is this thing for sale? I want to buy it. So I feel like they really do go hand in hand.
So that's something I've been conflicted about lately with my haul videos. So for a long time, I have been filming my haul videos 2 weeks in advance so I can show people what sells fast. But then there are people commenting, I can't believe you already sold that. I wanted that, you know? Or so now I'm like, okay, should I do more recent, like immediate haul videos so my viewers can get first dibs on this stuff? Or do they want to see, you know, what sells fast? So if you're one of my viewers, comment down below on what you'd like to see. But yeah, I don't know, maybe I should start doing haul videos sooner so I can make more direct sales.
I don't know. I feel like that makes sense though, to try to get them up at the same time. I'm pretty bad about, I don't list things until after I post my videos. So I'm kind of the opposite problem, but I feel like ideal.
Well, the thing is, it's like, if I didn't put the time into it, I would give you a better deal. You know what I mean? But if it's already listed on Poshmark, at that point, it's like, well, I'll give you 30% off. You know, that's like my biggest discount. Unless you bundle, then we can talk. I feel like off platform, then we can talk too. But, like once it's listed, you have like a minimum price in mind. Before it's listed, it's like, oh, I'll give it to you for $15-20, you know, like we're good, you know, but like after it's listed, it's like, oh, I've done comps already. I've listed, I've photographed it. You put a lot of time into that and you don't want to sell yourself too short. So
for sure. I feel like that's been a helpful thing too for me when I sell things directly from my videos. I put comp prices up for every single piece on the screen. So people are only coming to me when they are already prepared to pay however much I'm asking for it.
Really smart.
So if you have the time to or know how to just throw in that on the screen, I feel like, then I would say do that because that really helps. Nobody's kind of...
I need to experiment with this method. Like I already have some older haul videos from a couple weeks ago that I need to post soon. I'll do that. But then I'll try to do more like immediate haul videos and just experiment with it and see how it goes.
Yeah,
so
I feel like it's worth it.
We're still on the BBC train over here. So her mom would watch them together growing up. Oh, I love that. Yes. That's how Anne of Green Gables is for me. I mean, my cousin and my mom used to watch them together growing up. And I just watch it and I think of being a kid. And I always wanted to be Anne.
Yes. Who doesn't want to be Anne? She's so spunky.
I love her.
And also, can we just talk about Gilbert Blythe?
Yes, he's the dream. He's the dream. I mean, honestly, you have to watch Anne of Green Gables so you know what kind of man to look for.
Seriously. Gil is
like, if you don't marry a Gilbert, then you're just doing it wrong.
For sure.
So, Bethany, hold on a second. Before we go on to the next question, can we just talk about Pole Dark? Have you seen Pole Dark?
So I started watching it during the pandemic, so I definitely haven't finished it. So
oh my God,
don't spoil it too much for me.
Okay, I won't spoil it. I've watched the whole thing. It is so good. I highly recommend Pole Dark. This is a fun question here, and we need to wrap this up soon, y'all. But what is the closest Broadway play or BBC show true to your life? I would have to say Anne of Green Gables. She's just the person I relate to most in life. So, what about you?
I agree. I love Anne of Green Gables. It's just too good, you know? There's nothing that can beat it.
Yep. No. I mean, Sound of Music, but...
That's true.
I love Maria's character, but I don't think I'd want to live her life.
No.
And it's like, I love her character, and her life is very romanticized, even though she was an orphan and, you know, terrible stuff happened to her. Like, it's just the whole feeling of it, the movie. It's so good.
I also really like Persuasion. That's a Jane Austen novel, but they made a BBC version. Or Emma. Oh, okay. Well, girl, you need to watch those too because they are so good. The BBC version.
I've seen part of Emma, but once again, I didn't finish it because I don't have the streaming service for it. So I need to get BritBox.
I just own them.
BritBox, whatever you call it. So,
But the important part here is the BBC version. Do not watch the Gwyneth Paltrow version of Emma. You'll thank me later.
For what? For
Emma, there's a Gwyneth Paltrow version.
Okay. Watch the BBC.
BBC.
Honestly, BBC just does everything so well that I feel like, generally speaking, BBC is like where it's at. So
agreed.
I live in a city, Florida, in a retirement community. So my thrift stores carry so much vintage. Thanks for your tips for looking for vintage now. I feel upset about not finding trendy pieces. Oh my gosh, girl. I was in the same boat as you. I live in Florida, and that's just what you find around here. You find so much vintage, and people would post all of these videos finding all these trendy, cool brands. And I'm like, I don't find those. Like I get excited when I find Anthropologie still. I get stoked when I find Vineyard Vines. Like I get excited over other people's bread and butter brands, but vintage, it's like, I just had to learn how to sell it. Like, honestly, because that's what I was finding in my area. So yeah, you got to do whatever the bins or the thrift stores in your area are giving you. You got to learn how to sell it. So
that's so true.
You find a mix of both, Rebekah. I feel like you have a good balance in your
I do. I am very thankful. I think that where I go, it's a pretty affluent area, and that really helps me find some of those more high-end pieces. But then it's because nobody else is picking up the vintage things, I think. There aren't that many, but nobody I'm thrifting next to likes those. So that works out well for me. But I look at your guys' hauls and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I wish I had all those cool vintage things. So I think the grass is always greener on the other side.
Yes. Because I look at yours and I think the same thing. I'm like, I wish I could find those brands, but I just, and it's funny because I went to the bins one day during my 5-day haul and I was like, I want to source modern pieces today. I came back with a haul full of vintage. It's just like, it's so hard for me to find modern pieces in my area. It's like, I feel like 50 to 60% of my bins is vintage. 10% is modern, and the other like 40% is trash.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So finding modern brands is harder for me, but yeah. Anne of Green Gables, yes. Oh, she's talking about the Netflix
series. I haven't seen it. No, have you?
Yes, it's good.
It's good? Okay, I didn't know. I was like, is it going to ruin Anne for me? Like,
it's a different Anne. You get introduced to almost a darker Anne. So there's some like more dark stuff in the series. I mean, she's still Anne. She's still lighthearted, but there's just more themes in it that are not in the older Anne.
Okay.
And I was really worried with Matthew and what they were going to say version, because the old version does Matthew so well. Like he is just like the sweetest, most wonderful person, and you love him so much. But honestly, they do a good job with Marilla and Matthew in the new series too.
Okay, so that was my concern, because Matthew is like, he is the epitome of perfect in that version. So, okay. That makes me feel better.
It is really good. It's different. So you can't go into it expecting to get the same thing. They definitely venture off and create new stories, but it's good. It's good.
That's great.
Poldark is a short series, but very good. Yes, I wish they would continue it and make it longer. I was kind of sad when it was over. Is this a show? Simply Capital?
It must be. I've not heard of it, though.
I've not heard of it either. I'm going to have to Google that later.
I will.
Check out your library. They have lots of old movies to check out. I just checked out some old movies earlier this week, including Anne of Green Gables. Bethany, we need to get together and watch that.
Also, that local library is so underutilized. So, like, I worked at a library all throughout college for 4 years, and then I worked at a library while I was waiting to get married to Jeremy for a year. So, like, guys, that library, it's good. I love reading. There's so many great resources there. I love the library.
I need to go to my local library. I have 2 libraries that are within like 15 minutes from my house, and I don't go, and I need to. So yes, I definitely need to make more use of that, especially because I can't tell you how many times I buy books offline when I could probably get it at my library. So I need to get better about that for sure. Same Rebekah, the people at my stores typically pass the cool vintage items, but I'm in Georgia and find a lot of 90s. Yes, I find a lot of too. So, but yeah, it's crazy to me the stuff people pass up on. Like I have come across like a Gunny Sacks dress just laying in the top of the bin.
Oh my gosh.
And like someone else had thrown it back. And then I just sold a dress yesterday that was in my most recent haul. It was that yellow one with the fluttery sleeves, if anyone wants it.
It's so pretty.
It just sold yesterday for $60. And someone had just thrown that back in the bins too. Like people just don't, I don't know. It's funny. But when I pick it up, it's so funny to see people's faces around me. They're all like, oh, like, because they think I'm going to wear it and love it and treasure it and everything, which I do. I love it and I treasure it while it's in my possession. And then I pass it on to someone else who's going to love it and treasure it. But it is fun to see other people see me find vintage items, if that makes sense, because everyone gets excited around me that I'm excited about that item because they like it, but they have nothing to do with it. They don't know what to do with it. So some people will bring me vintage items because they're like, this is so pretty. Please take it home with you.
Oh, that's so good. I love it when people bring you things in the bins. You're just like, oh, you guys, thank you. Yes. You're so good.
Yes. It's so cool once you make bins buddies who do that for you. It's like, you guys are the sweetest. Thank you so much.
Yes. I love making friends with the guys there because they're always, they're like we've been talking about. They're always looking for those like grungy t-shirts. Yes. They bring me Lululemon leggings all the time because they don't know what to do with it. And I'm just like,
I love it.
Yes, I will take that. Thank you.
Or like Lily Pulitzer or like all those brands that they don't. Yeah.
Yep. That's great.
Making friends with those guys is for sure a good strategy. She says she's going to have to watch the old school version. Valerie, yes, you need to watch it. It's so good. And
it's worth it.
Rebecca, you got to watch the Netflix series. So I'm
going to have to.
The more and the better, in my opinion, so
there is never too
not
much
the same. I know some people got offended when the Netflix one came out and they're like, it's a different Anne. They were mad about it, but I'm like, it's just not the same. You can't compare them. They're two different Annes.
They're two different interpretations of Anne.
Yes, that's true.
Yes.
Two different interpretations of it.
I'll feel just like look at it that way.
Maybe not as serious, but I feel like the fandom behind Anne of Green Gables is almost like if someone were to like remake Lord of the Rings, people would just be up in arms. Like that's how it was when the new Anne series came out. Like the old true fans were like, no, you can't make a new series. And then some people like had just been introduced to Anne, didn't know the old series existed. So I feel like, you just got to watch them both. So anyway, I love the tangents we have been on.
I know. This is so great. Like we barely knew each other. We were just like starting our friendship. And now I'm like, oh yeah, we can talk about all the good things. Let's go.
All the things. That's so great. Oh my goodness. So if anyone has not, if you've made it this far in the video, thank you so much. Cause it's an hour and 50 minutes that we've been here. Yep. You probably know way more about Rebecca and I than you did at the beginning of this video, even for my subscribers, because it's hard to have conversations like this with yourself in front of a camera.
Oh, for sure. We try, but it's hard.
Yeah. It's hard to share a whole lot of personal stuff about yourself when you're talking to yourself. So anyway, I told Chelsea she needs to wear some of her vintage clothing when she goes. Okay, so yes, I'm going to the Biltmore Estates. We've got a ticket there for an upcoming vacation to go tour the Biltmore Estates, and I need to my mom says I need to wear some vintage clothing there and get like a photo shoot. Cute. Which I think would be really fun. So yeah, I need to pick out which outfits would go, but I'd have to pick out one dress. I'm not one of those people that would go change in the bathroom. I'd feel a little embarrassed. I don't know. Maybe if I was with the right people who understood that, I don't know. But yes, I will get some pictures there and I will wear a vintage dress because why not? If you're going to be in a cool old house, you should wear vintage clothing.
For sure. Or dress in layers so you can just take one off,
I like that. Kind of feel like it's a new outfit, wear a pretty duster cardigan or something, take it off, another layer. I like that idea.
Yes.
So we better start wrapping this up because I could probably talk till 5 o'clock. And
same.
I'm sure everyone has things that they need to get done. Probably need to go list some things or photograph some things or draft some things or whatever. Maybe Rebecca needs to go hit the bins real quick,
Oh yeah, I totally forgot. Maybe.
So, we have another coming here. Weekly live streams. Yes, Jeremy, that would be so fun. What I think would be really fun, Rebecca, for your channel?
Tell me.
You and Jeremy need to get together and do a Q&A that's live where people can ask you 2 questions because you guys are a cute little couple and I love that he resells too. And I feel like we need to see his face more on your channel. Is that something he's up for?
I'll have to ask him. He's always kind of just been a little camera shy, but honestly, he's always wanted to do a live stream. So I think he'd be down. Jeremy, you game?
I think y'all need to try it.
I'll mute myself and yell.
I love it. Yes, Jeremy, you all need to do it. Oh, and good. I like his idea about doing reselling challenges. Yes, we are going to have to collaborate. And
I'm so down.
do some like bins challenges together, because I feel like that's our thing. Like we could do, I don't know, like a certain amount of time in the bins to see who finds what, $10 challenge, so you can make some money. The possibilities are endless, but yes, I feel like using our strength is like something bins related would be a
for sure. Oh yeah, I love it.
So
I'm here.
yep, and I'm definitely going live for you again, either on my channel or your channel. So yep, y'all, let's just say it again. Go subscribe to Rebekah's channel. Let's help her to get to 1,000 subscribers, like as soon as possible.
I would love that.
And if you're on my channel, I'm just telling you right now, you're going to love Rebekah's, because as you can see, we are like the same person. So go subscribe to her channel, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. And thanks for stopping by. If you've made it to the end of this video, you are the real MVP. Thank you so much for watching 2 hours of my channel. And Jeremy says maybe. So we will leave it there. And we'll say that maybe means yes. So, and goodbye, Brian and everyone else in the chat. Thank you so much for sticking around. I am in awe that there were 23 people who stayed here and chatted with us. So thank you so much, everyone. And I'll see you later. And subscribe to Rebekah and me, and comment, give it this video a thumbs up. And yeah, have a great day. Oh, look who's here. Jeremy on YouTube live.
Oh, hey there, Jeremy.
Did he think we were ending?
I think he thought we were done.
All right, well, I'm gonna say hi.
My computer died.
His computer died now. He's good.
Okay, well, I'll say hi to Jeremy after I end the live here. So bye, everyone. Stay tuned on Rebekah's channel to meet Jeremy in person, because he is coming to her channel. All right, bye, everyone.